Good day, everyone. This is Dolandolan, and this is my data overview project. Let me give a quick preview of H. Winship Wheatley. Wheatley is a large early childhood center providing services to 780 students with and without special needs between the ages of 0 to 4. We have an infants and toddlers program for at-risk infants and toddlers, as well as those with identified special needs. We have self-contained special education programs for 3 and 4-year-olds and inclusive co-taught pre-kindergarten and Head Start classes. Today, the pre-kindergarten team will review some information about our pre-kindergarten classes from assessments we have collected last school year. This slide looks at an inventory of some of the major assessments our students took last year. The Early Childhood Pre-Academic Checklist, which covers math, writing, and literacy components, were collected in August, January, and May. It assessed students in pre-K and Head Start. It is available online and can be accessed in the district level by instructional support personnel and the Early Childhood Office, as well as in-house by both the principal and the teachers. Currently, we use it for student benchmarking. Test results are reported as emerging, in progress, and the highest being proficient. Last year, our special educators and related service personnel conducted a lot of standardized testing for our students with special needs. We also gathered data for the Maryland Model for School Readiness, which looks at all developmental areas, including the arts, for all of our 3 and 4-year-old students with special needs, as well as our pre-K and Head Start students. For the purpose of this presentation, we are going to focus on the pre-academic checklist. Our data source will be the Early Childhood Pre-Academic Checklist, and the grade level will be pre-kindergarten. What does it look at? It looks at emergent literacy components like letter knowledge, phonological awareness, and book and print awareness, as well as some math concepts. We're going to focus on emergent literacy components, specifically letter knowledge and phonological awareness. These skills were chosen because these two skills combined are strong predictors of later academic success. Letter knowledge is composed of the letter naming fluency by Dybels, and phonological awareness has 7 components. Listening looks at discriminating whether sounds are the same or different. Rhyming looks at the ability to discriminate between rhyming and rhyming words. Rhyming 2 tests whether a child can produce a corresponding rhyming word. Alliteration is about initial sounds in words. Sentence segmentation looks at the ability to segment words in a sentence. And syllabication involves clapping out syllables. Onset rhyme deals with blending and segmenting smaller parts of words. Let's start off by looking at our pre-K population from last year. We had 5 co-taught inclusive classrooms with a total of 133 students. It is broken down into morning and afternoon sessions, number of general education and special education students, gender, and number of English language learners. Here is a breakdown for race and ethnicity. So the participants will have copies of the graphs and charts as a handout. Throughout the presentation, we will use the thinking routine See, Think, Wonder to process the information we are looking at. It simply asks the audience what they see, what they think, and what they wonder. It is a visible thinking routine for making careful observations and thoughtful interpretations. It sets the stage for inquiry. It encourages people in groups to make their thinking visible to others and to themselves. It's a great way to spark curiosity. Now let's start looking at our students' performance based on gender type, gender, student type, language proficiency, and session. Compared to the county data. Look at the graph and write down what you see. As you have probably noticed, there is a 3 percentage point difference between the county and our school. By looking at it closely, it appears that our male, female, and general education students are doing better than the county total. However, our special education students and English language learners are not performing at par. Let's take a closer look at how our special ed students and English language learners did compared to the school performance. From this chart, we can see that our students with special needs and our English language learners are also behind in terms of performance. Write down what you think about these two pieces of information and what you are wondering about it. We will process this information later on. Now let's look at the phonological awareness data for the last 3 years. And again, this chart only reports the proficient level. That's for listening, for rhyming 1, for rhyming 2, alliteration, sentence segmenting, syllabication, and onset rhyme. From this cohort to cohort comparison, we can see that our students made significant gains in year 2 in most components except syllabication. On the other hand, it appears that our students last year are almost in the same level of performance as our students did in 2010, which is when we started using this assessment system. Please take this time to write down what you think about this and what you are wondering about it as well. Now let's focus on last year's data and compare it to district data. It appears that our students are behind in 4 out of 7 components. Let's identify which components these are. Rhyming 1, rhyming 2, sentence segmenting, and onset rhyme. Now that we have seen how we fared, let's dig deeper and look at each proficiency level. By looking at it this way, we can see how many of our students performed in the emerging, in progress, and proficiently level. What do we see here? We can see that 37% of our students called emerging in rhyming 2, followed by 22% for onset rhyme. Next is in progress. Now we see that our students' composite performance for those in progress and emerging is in the 62 to 65% range. Areas in this range may indicate that it's an area of need. And finally, let's look at those who perform proficiently. We can see that listening, syllabication, and rhyming 1, as well as alliteration, are possible areas of strength, although there's still some room for improvement in terms of rhyming 1 and alliteration. The last part of the presentation will be a small group activity. Each group will look at the charts provided and use the See, Think, Wonder notes they have written throughout the presentation to guide their group discussion. They are about to answer the following questions. Based on the data we have reviewed, what needs do you think our students have in terms of letter knowledge and phonological awareness? Brainstorm reasons why you think our students performed as they did. And finally, what can we do as a group to address this? This is the end of the presentation. Notes and discussion points will be emailed to the participants at a later date. Again, this is Dolandolan, and this has been my data overview. Thank you.